welcome or welcome back to my channel, Stitch and Style by me, Nadia. Now today it's Monday the 16th of January and I have a very exciting day planned. So I thought I might take you along with me where I can. So you've probably seen Rachel Stitched Up or Ruan, the Yorkshire Sew Girl, talk about a sewing social event that's happening tonight, and I booked tickets a few weeks ago when I heard Ruan was going. It's run by Sam Frugalissima and Ali from the Sewing Bee. It's where you take along a project, meet other people and do a little bit of sewing. I'm very nervous about it. I've never actually met any of them before. I've had a little bit of discussion with Ruan from time to time. I know she has watched my channel, I watch her channel. Hi Ruan if you watch. But yeah, I've never met Ruan, so I'm really excited to meet her. The project that I've decided to take is in my bag, so I'm not going to pull it out. All I've done is I've cut it out and adjusted the stay stitching earlier just to make sure I've set up my machine as well. I'm not going to take my electronic machine, I'm just taking my older manual machine just in case, you know, I don't want anything to go wrong with my electronic machine, and my manual one still works perfectly and it's a little bit more portable, so I thought I'd take that. So I've got that all set up, ready to go, and I did the stay stitching in the blouse pattern because it's the Ermine blouse that I'm going to be sewing up, and I'll pop in a picture of the Ermine blouse and the line drawings. It's a beautiful blouse, and I was thinking about a viscose material, but I couldn't find anything suitable when I was looking at my fabrics last night. I was trying to find something like a smaller piece, and I had that piece that I got in my advent calendar, So Much More, with the little daisy prints on it. I'll pop in a picture if I've got one, but I only have 1.5 meters of that, and I couldn't fit the pattern pieces out, so I was trying to arrange them, and it's got quite a bit of gathering, so the pieces are quite wide, and no matter how much I move them around, I couldn't quite fit it out. I've decided to go with a chambray fabric, and I know it's going to be a little bit bulky, especially where you've got the gathering, but I don't know if I mind that. And I have seen quite a few ready to wear blouses in chambray that have like those kind of details on it, so I thought, oh, do you know what, I think it's going to be fine, hopefully, anyway. And actually I'm wearing the Anna Allen Anthea blouse, and I made this in a chambray as well. This chambray was from Beyond the Pink Door, and it's in like a purple colourway. So I'm all packed and ready to set off. The other thing that I cut out that I want to share with you, because oh my word, this fabric is divine. Now I got this when I went to Sew Brum and from Guthrie and Garney. Oh, it's upside down. This fabulous viscose chalice fabric, and it's got these big flowers on. Oh my word, when I was cutting it out, I love this fabric anyway, but when I was cutting it out I was like, oh, I love this fabric, it's going to make such a nice dress. So I've decided to do a bit of a Davenport hack with it. So I got out my pattern pieces yesterday, and I'm going to do just a 1-tier skirt. So I've added quite a few centimetres onto the skirt, and I'm not going to put a ruffle or a frill on. I don't think I would have had enough fabric to do that anyway. I've lengthened the sleeves so they're going to be full length. I'm going to put the ruffle and the elastic in it, and cut out the pockets as well. Now instead of putting a drawstring and a casing in it, I'm going to use the method of the elastic from the VN dress that I sewed. I think it is going to look absolutely stunning. I can't wait to get this sewn up. So my plan is to set off in about 20 minutes or so, and what I'm planning to do is go to Fabworks in Dewsbury, which is not too far away. So I thought I'll just nip in there, have a little look around. I've never been to that fabric shop. And then I'm planning on just going and getting a coffee and some food from somewhere before I make my way over to the social. And I am so nervous about it, but it's going to be really exciting. I'm going to meet new people, which is lovely. You know, you've always got that thing that we can talk about, which is our hobby and sewing. Now, just let me show you what I'm wearing today. I decided to put on this Anna Allen Anthea blouse. As I said before, it's in this purple chambray fabric, and I'll stand up and give you a little twirl. And I decided to pair it with these peppermint wide leg pants that I made. So these are with like a cotton twill fabric. I think they might include belt. No, they don't think they include belt loops, but I put belt loops on it. It's got a fully functioning fly and a button at the top. And I lowered the pockets a little bit, the opening for the pockets, because I found them quite difficult to get your hands into. And they were wide leg. And actually, it just started snowing this morning, so it's a very bright day. So my husband texted me and said, don't forget your sunglasses. He's out and about today, so yeah, good shout from Ben. It's might turn a little bit cold, so I put this just this ready to wear top underneath, just to keep me a little bit warm. And I thought I could pop on my little vest sweatshirt thing that I made, and I'll catch up with you maybe when I get to Fabworks. So I'll see you then. Bye. So I've made it over to Dewsbury, and just sitting in the car park at Fabworks, and sun is very bright, so I remembered my sunglasses, and I'm just gonna go and pop in the shop and see what there is, and I'll see if I can get a little bit of footage in the shop. Inserted a little bit of footage from earlier in the week. Now, unfortunately, I didn't take any other footage, but I do have a photo from the catch-up which I'll insert now, and it was so nice to meet everybody. I had a really nice time. It was quite nerve-wracking meeting everybody, and it was lovely to listen to Ali's tales about being on the sewing bee, and yeah, I started my blouse. Now I'm wearing the blouse that I started on Monday, so I've not actually had much time for sewing this week. It's been quite social. Not only did I go to the social on Monday, I also went out with my work friends on Wednesday to do our Christmas meal, which we missed because of the train strikes. Fortunately, I wasn't actually well that week, so yeah, I'm glad that I was able to attend the work event this week. So yeah, that was really nice. We went for a curry, yeah, and we had a nice evening. So that was a little bit late, and then I'd not seen my friend since before my birthday, actually. So she took me out for a lovely birthday meal in Manchester. We went to the Allen Hotel and had some food there, which was absolutely delicious. So that was on Friday night. And yesterday I did a bit of cross country. So I've been quite busy, but in between I've managed to get this sewn up. Before I talk about the blouse, I will talk about the fabrics that I got from Fabworks. And I've got 3 materials, and I've washed them all and haven't ironed them yet. So excuse the creases, but I got this, and it's going to be really difficult for you to see, this wool fabric. As you can see, it's a little bit see-through, but it's a nice fine wool, and it's lovely and soft to touch and not scratchy at all, and there's no stretch in it. But I wanted this suiting, and it's just plain black, to make the Ava skirt, and I'd really like to make a matching waistcoat. So I've got some of this to try a nice little 2-piece outfit, and I am going to be lining this skirt because I made one the other week, and the material, the outer material, was not nice. So yeah, I'm going to make myself one in a nice quality wool suiting. So that's the first material I got. The second material was this cotton shirting fabric that I got to make my husband a shirt. So it's like a really small navy check, and it has got a little bit of a sheen to it. It's not shiny, but it's got a nice sheen on it, and I thought that would make a nice shirt for my husband. And he saw it and he said it looks like it's a little bit too smart for, you know, going out and everything, but which I do agree, it does look like a little bit more like work kind of wear, but I think it'll look nice and smart with a pair of jeans. And you can only really tell it's navy because of the selvage, but otherwise I thought it could be black. Actually, you can see in the camera that it's a navy blue. Yeah, not very exciting, but I thought I'd share it anyway. And then the last material I got was, I was looking to see if I could buy some lining material, and I wanted to see if they had anything that was natural materials. So I was looking at all the linings, and the only one I found, which is a cotton viscose, and I have tried it on the iron, and yeah, it does iron well. It's just got black with little spots on it, and I think it looks a really nice material. I probably should have overlocked the edges, which I don't normally do actually, before I washed it, because it has frayed quite a bit. But they were suggesting this one as a lining and for my skirt, but when we held it up to the light, you could actually see the white spots through, so that's not suitable for lining the skirt, but I thought I would get it anyway, and either use it as like a lining for a jacket or another project, because I just like the fact that it is very slippery, but it's not a polyester. So yeah, I just decided to get a couple of meters of that, and it was very reasonably priced as well. And I have heard mixed reports about Fabworks, but I thought it was really friendly. I really liked the space. I mean, it was a little bit nippy. It's in a kind of a warehouse, so it was a little bit nippy in there, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. So then I was running a little bit out of time to like sit down and have a meal, which I was hoping to go to a pub or something, but yeah, because I was a bit short on time, I just went to Sainsbury's and had something to eat there before I went to the social. And then at the social I met everyone there, and it was really, really nice. I had a really nice time, and yeah, I got chatting to some people, and yeah, and most of us are also going to the gathering, and I've had somebody ask me whether I'm going to go to the gathering, so and the answer is yes, which is an evening event organised by Sam and Ali in conjunction with Size Me Sewing. I've got my ticket. I think they've all sold out of their tickets now, but if you're going, then hopefully I'll see you there. This is the Ermine blouse, and it's on my make 9. So it's a pattern by Fibre Mood, and it's in one of their magazines, and it comes in sizes XS to XXXL, and that's approximately a UK 6 to a UK 28/30. And I traced it out from the magazine, so you have to add the seam allowances on, and it does tell you what seam allowances to add on in the instructions, which, I mean, it did take a little bit of time to trace out and then add the seam allowances on. And I also added some length to the blouse and to the arms, although I have ended up taking the length off the bodice that I added on. So I've had a little bit of difficulties with this make. Nothing to do with the pattern, although I did find the finish of the placket quite difficult. But I didn't help myself, because when I cut it out, I cut out 2 left bodices. So when I was sewing it up at the social, I realised that something had gone wrong when I did my second one. So I was convinced that I'd done both of them wrong and perhaps switched them. So I unpicked both of the bodices, but then when I went to attach them again, the same thing happened. So the first one was fine, but then the second one was obviously wrong, and then I realised it was a cutting error. And fortunately I'd taken with me some of the material and the pattern pieces, and yeah, Sam lent me a really nice sharp rotary cutter, and I cut out a right bodice. So then the only thing that I got done in the social is the gathering on the bodice pieces. So then I've just done some on it a little bit at a time, but it's probably not been the most relaxed, and I've probably been rushing stages of it when I've had the time to do it. It's got some gathering across the back, and I think that looks really nice. I really like the gathering at the front. The only thing I feel is, and I know this is the design, like where it sits, I think I would like it to just sit a little bit further up, so it like kind of goes over the bust a little bit more rather than like actually on the bust. I don't know how I feel about that. Now, I've not got them lined up where the point comes. As you can see, this one's a little bit higher than that one. I had so much trouble with this placket. So I attached the plackets as per the instructions, but they both looked not very neat. Not as neat as I would like them anyway. So what I ended up doing was sewing them to the reverse as the way that it tells you. So how it tells you to do it is attach the placket to the wrong side, flip it over, and then sew it down the right side. But I was finding that it looked neater on the inside than it did on the outside. So I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll attach it to the wrong. So I took off both of the plackets and I attached it to the right side, then flipped it over to the wrong side, and I sewed it down from the right side. Now that might not make much sense if you've not made the top, but I found it actually looked a lot neater for me doing it the reverse way than it told you. So that was a little bit of a drama, and I had to recut and re-interface one of the plackets because when I was unpicking it, there was a little bit of a hole in it, so I thought, oh, I better recut the placket. So yeah, I've had the plackets on, off, and then on again. And then when I sewed the buttonholes, now the buttonholes themselves went fine, but this was me, I didn't follow the markings on the pattern, which was a mistake, because I think this button is a little bit too far down. So this was like flopping open a little bit, and I've made this mistake before on the on my first hinterland dress, doing that, putting the first button a bit too far down. So I really should have learned from a mistake. But yeah, I've just put like a little whip stitch in there, which is invisible from the front, but yeah, I've sewed that together because you can actually pull it on and off over your head without undoing any of the buttons. So that was one mistake. And then obviously I've not got them completely aligned at the front either. I didn't even think about that until I'd finished. And then at the bottom it wasn't kind of meeting. One side was quite a bit longer than the other, so after I'd completed it, I cut the hem off and I overlocked the bottom so they were equal lengths, and then I've just like turned it up and sewed it down. When I'm looking at this top, all I can kind of see is my mistakes. So I don't know whether I'm entirely happy with it and whether I would change it a little bit for next time. But I think I would probably just pay a little bit more attention to where I'm putting the buttonholes, everything lining up, and then I would probably hem it last rather than hem it before you attach the placket. I know Kath, made by Kath Craft, she's also made this blouse, and she said that she would probably do it that way as well next time she makes the blouse. Now, I was a little bit between the medium and the large, and I wasn't 100% which to go for, but I didn't want to make it so it was too small, so I thought I would prefer oversized anyway, so I decided to make the large. Now, I think maybe it's a little bit on the big side for me. I'll just stand up and show you. So I don't know whether it's a little bit on the big side. I mean, I know it's supposed to be quite roomy. Looking at it again and thinking about sizing, I'd probably keep it the same size, although I think I did take some out of the centre front just when I took off the placket and then reattached the plackets. And I really like the blouse in the chambray fabric. I was a little bit worried that it was going to be a little bit too bulky, but actually I don't think it is with this one. It is quite a lightweight one, so I'm happy with that. Like, I don't think anybody's going to really be noticing that they don't really line up unless I point it out. I mean, I did point it out to my husband, and then he said, oh yeah, now you've mentioned it, I wouldn't have noticed it, but now you've mentioned it, I can see it. And he was like, just move on to your next project, because I was like fussing about it. But without undoing everything, I can't really change it, so I'm just going to have to kind of live with that mistake. So my next make is actually underneath this blouse, so I'll take it off to show you. And this is the Tabitha t-shirt dress, and I made this out of the material that I made. Well, I made a Freya top in this material if you saw my recent makes vlog, and it's the brushed viscose that I got when I went to first for Fabworks, and I got enough. Well, I got the end of the bolt, so I had a little bit more material than I was expecting. So I cut this dress out first, and then I cut out the Freya top. I've made the Tabitha t-shirt dress before, and it's quite a relaxed fit top, and then you draft the skirt to whatever width you want. It's kind of just a self-drafted skirt, and I didn't want mine too loose, and you can have it whatever length you want, of course, as well. So I'll just stand up and give you a little twirl. It finishes above my knee. That's me stood on my tiptoes. So yeah, just so you can see where the hem is. It's got this drawstring casing for the little tie around the waist. I'll turn around and just show you the back. So I do a little bit of the sway back adjustment, so I've not got any excess material at the back there. Now I did spill some porridge on me, so you'll have to excuse that, I'm sorry. Oh no, I'm so messy. Now the only thing that I think I'm going to change about this make, and I've done this before on my other Tabitha t-shirt dress, and I thought it was maybe just because it was like a little bit more of a stretchy, looser material that this happened, but it's happened on this one as well. I think like the sleeve openings are a little bit too wide, and I'd prefer it if they just kind of tapered in, so I'd probably just take out an inch of width off the Tabitha t-shirt dress. So I'll probably do that on this, and remember to adjust the pattern pieces. But I love this dress, it's really nice and comfortable, and I actually wore it when we went out with my team for the curry, and I really enjoyed wearing it. So thanks so much for joining me today, and hopefully I'll see you next week. Now I'm so excited to be starting the dress that I showed you that I cut out earlier this week. So that's what I'm going to be getting on with this week. So hopefully I'll be able to share with you my new Davenport dress next week, all being well. So I'm going to really concentrate and get some neat sewing done. So I'm going to be really happy with the outcome. Fingers crossed. Okay, wish me luck. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.